Alive. Mm-hmm. No one's here yet though. What if no one comes? Well then, I don't know. Oh, it's Courtney. Courtney's here. Good morning, everyone. Hi, Courtney. Hi, Diana. We'll just wait one more minute, just let people join on. Good morning, everyone. All right, so it's 10 o'clock now, so we'll get started. I also have my mom with me over here, if you hear any noise or someone laughing at all my jokes. All right, so it's 10 o'clock, so we'll get started. Can everyone hear me okay? I'll just check that first. I think we're good. All right. Perfect, we have a thumbs up, cool. All right, so find your way to the top of your mat. Find mountain pose. Feet about hip width apart, arms just by your sides. Find a comfortable stance here this morning. You can close your eyes here, soften your gaze if you'd like. And just take a few breaths here in mountain pose. Try and make your inhales a little bit deeper here this morning. And a nice long exhale. Bring your hands together at heart center. We'll start with some pranayama breathing here this morning. So deep inhale here through your nose. Exhale out of your mouth, interlace your fingers, press your hands down towards the floor. Inhale, your arms come forward and up. Your gaze can follow your fingers. Palms touch at the top. Exhale out of your mouth. Interlace as you cross heart center. Keep that movement, that breath going. Deep inhale. Palms touch, long exhale out of your mouth. 2 more here. Inhale. Feel that reach, stretch up. Exhale out of your mouth. Last one. Deep inhale, longest inhale. And your longest exhale, let it all out. Bring your hands to your sides. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. Interlace your fingers, release your index fingers toward the ceiling. Take an inhale here, lift up out of your hips. Exhale up and over to the right for crescent moon. Nice stretch here through the left side. Open up those muscles. Come back up to center. You can bend at your knees, bend at your elbows here, reset. Maybe switch your grip the other way around. Inhale, grow a little bit taller. Exhale, up and over to the left. Feel the stretch here on your right side. Both feet grounded on the mat. Come back up to center. Release your hands just in front of you so they're parallel to the floor, the mat. Step your feet about hip width apart. They can always come wider, they can come mat width apart. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, sit your hips down and back. Powerful pose. And right away, bring the weight back into your heels. Feel your legs fire up. And find those deep inhales, long exhales. Inhale here, come up just an inch. Exhale, sit down for 2. One more time, come up just a little bit. Exhale, sit a little bit lower. Rise back up to stand. Come all the way up onto the balls of your feet. So your heels are up off the mat here. Your arms can stay out in front of you, or you can reach them up above. And you can stay here with your heels lifted, just like this. Or you can start to bend your knees forward. Lower your hips. And keep a nice tall spine as you do this here. Heels are still lifted up off the mat. Slowly come back up to stand. Let your heels fall. Let your arms come down to your sides. Inhale your arms out and up. On your exhale, swing your right arm underneath your left. You can twist tie your elbows here or reach for opposite shoulders. Sit your hips down and bring your right leg up and over your left. Your right toes here can land on the mat or tuck behind your calf for eagle pose. Find a steady gaze here for your eyes. Squeeze everything together. Feel both thighs work here. Squeeze your elbows. Uncross your right leg. Bring your foot to the mat. Reach your arms up. Eagle on the other side, swing your left arm underneath your right. Same options, twist tie your elbows or reach for your shoulders. Sit your hips down, bring your left leg up, cross it over your right. Settle into your eagle pose here. Uncross your left leg, reach your arms up. Bring your palms together, let them come down in front of your heart. And spin this way. Feet can be hip width apart here, or you can bring them a little closer together. Deep inhale here through your nose. On your exhale, sit your hips down and back. Inhale here, little lift through your chest. Exhale, twist to the left, prayer twist. So your hands can stay at center here, or you can bring your forearm across your thighs, left hand to lower back. Feel strong through your legs here. And feel this twist happen through your upper body. Come back through center, rise up. Palms touch and come back to heart center. Spin this way now. Deep inhale here. Exhale, sit your hips low. Inhale, lengthen up through your spine. Exhale, twist to the right. So you can find a spot for your elbow here, hands stay at center. Or forearm across your thighs, right hand to lower back. On this side, feel your left ribs roll under, your right ribs roll up. Open up your heart to the side that you're facing. Come back through center, rise up. Let your arms fall out wide. Bring the palms of your hands around to your lower back for a standing back bend. Steady through both feet, strong through your legs here. Lift up out of your hips, start to come back. Let your shoulders come back and down. Open up through your chest. Your gaze can come up to the ceiling as well. Rise back up to stand, release your arms. You can take a few breaths here. If you need some water, you can reach for your water. And find your way to the top of your mat. Stand at the top of your mat here. Feet are about hip width apart. Bring your hands to your hips. Tiny bend in your knees. Start to hinge forward at your hips. Fold forward. You can bring your fingertips or your hands to the mat. Bend your knees as much as you need to here. And take a big step back with your right foot. Your right heel is lifted up off the mat here. So you're on the ball of your right foot. Bring your hands up to your front thigh. You can stay like this, and you always have the option of dropping your back knee down here. Your hands can stay on your thigh or fly alongside of you for a runner's lunge. Feel long here through your body. Reach through the crown of your head. Reach out through your fingertips. Bring your hands to the mat. Rock your weight back and step forward, forward fold. Step back with your left foot. Lift your left heel up off the mat. Bring your hands up to your front thigh. You can always drop your back knee down here. Hands can stay on your thigh or come alongside of you. Strong through your back leg here. Press the back of your knee and the back of your thigh up towards the ceiling. Bring your hands down from your front foot. Rock your weight back and step forward. Forward fold. Roll up through your spine, come up to stand. Bring your hands to your hips. Bend your right knee and lift your right knee just up to hip height in front of you. Step back with your right foot about halfway on your mat for warrior one. So your back toes will point to the top right corner of your mat. Left toes will point forward. Lunge into your left leg. Reach your arms forward and through for warrior one. So both heels are pressed down into the mat here. Rooted down through both feet. Take an inhale here, warrior one. Exhale, open up to the side, warrior two. And heel toe that back foot a little further apart. If you need a wider stance here, come into your lunge, arms come out to shoulder height. Flip your palms open so your thumbs point out. Bring your left hand to the inside of your left leg. Reach high through your right hand. Reach both hands away from each other. Feel that space open up across your chest. Float your way back to warrior two. 2 more breaths here in your lunge. Bring your hands to your hips, straighten your front leg, heel toe your back foot in, and step up to the top of your mat. Bend at your left knee, bring your left knee up to hip height. Step back about halfway on your mat, warrior one on this side, so your back toes will point to the top left corner of your mat. Hips don't have to be totally squared forward. Lunge into your front leg, reach your arms up. Warrior one. Your gaze can come up to your fingers. Inhale here, warrior one. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Heel to your back foot. Give yourself a nice wide stance. Arms come out to shoulder height. Lunge into your front leg. Strong through your back leg here. Press through the outer edge of your back foot. Flip your palms open, thumbs point up. Bring your right hand to the inside of your right leg. Reach high through your left hand for triangle pose. Your gaze can come up to your left hand. Feel that nice little stretch here through your left side. Find your way back, warrior two. Come back into your lunge, 2 more breaths. Bring your hands to your hips, straighten your front leg. Turn all 10 toes so they're facing the same way. Lengthen up here through your spine, inhale. Exhale, hinge forward at your hips. Wide-legged forward fold. Your hands can come to the mat here. They can come to opposite ankles. You can stay at your hips. If you have a block or a book, a water bottle, your hands can come to that as well. Anything you need here, just to feel the stretch through the backs of your legs. Bring your hands just underneath your shoulders. Tiny bend in your knees. Heel toe your feet. 1 or 2 times in. Bring your hands to your hips. Come halfway up. And then the rest of the way, come up to stand. Another good time here for a little sip of water if you need some. And then we'll move into some balancing postures. So come to stand in the middle of your mat. Find mountain pose here. So arms just by your sides. And step forward on your left foot. Let your right toes point or even hover the mat here behind you. We're going to take this mountain pose on an angle. So keep mountain pose in your upper body. Nice tall spine, long body. You can stay at a hover here or start to hinge forward. Feel the strength in your right leg. Lift it up. Bring your right foot back to the mat. Find mountain pose and take a breath here. And keep those nice deep breaths going as we move through the other side here. Step forward on your right foot, point your left toes or hover your left toes off the mat. Stay at a hover or start to hinge forward and keep that length here through your body as you come forward. Reach out through the crown of your head and reach out through the sole of your left foot. Come back up to stand, find mountain pose. Take a breath here. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. Exhale, bring your right hand down to your right side. You can scoop up your right foot here with your right hand. If you have a strap handy, you can also use a strap for dancer's pose. Or you don't even have to catch your foot. You can just have it lifted right on its own. And you can stay right here. This is a perfect dancer's pose. Or you can start to kick back and down into your right hand with your right foot. Reach up and forward through your left hand. Your body will hinge forward. Feel your right shoulder open up. Find those deep inhales, long exhales. Bring your knee back to center. Release your foot, release your hand. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, bring your left hand down to your left side. You can scoop up your left foot here, use a strap, or leave your foot lifted on its own. Take a moment here, steady yourself on your standing leg. Stay right here or start to kick back and down. Breathe through this dancer's pose. Bring your knee back to center. Release your foot, release your hand. Final standing posture here. Bring your hands to your hips. Bend your right knee, bring your right knee out to the side. Your toes can rest on the mat here, Or you can find a spot for the sole of your right foot, anywhere on the inside of your left leg for tree pose. Hands can stay at your hips here or come together, heart center. Stay at center or express your tree. You can reach up through your arms. They can come out to the side, behind you. Any expression here that you feel this morning. Bring your hands back to heart center if they're not there already. And then to your hips. Bring your right knee forward, right foot to the mat. Bend at your left knee, bring your left knee out to the side. Find tree pose on this side. And that might look totally different than the other side. Hands can stay at your hips or meet in front of your heart. Stay at center on this side or express your tree. Feel everything start to slow down here. Feel your breath start to slow down. Bring your hands back to heart center if they're not there. And then to your hips. Bring your left knee forward, your left foot to the mat. Arms by your sides. Let's take a nice big inhale here. And sigh it out of your mouth. One more inhale. And sigh it out. Make your way down onto your mat for a little midway shavasana. You can grab some water on your way there. Come to lie down on your mat. Let everything sink down on your mat. Feel that standing series land in your body. Feel your whole body melt down into the mat here. You can stay in this position in Shavasana for as long as you like. You can join back in whenever you like. You can stay in Shavasana for the rest of class. If you do feel ready to move again, bring your feet a little bit closer together at the bottom of your mat. Keep your left leg long, draw your right knee in. You can interlace your fingers over your shin here. Draw your right knee in towards your chest, or maybe it comes out towards your shoulder. Let your right leg go long. Draw your left knee in. Bring the sole of your left foot to the mat. Reach your right foot up toward the ceiling. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh, just below your knee. So you're in a figure four shape here with your feet or your legs. You can stay just like this if you already feel a stretch here in your right hip. Or you can thread your right hand through that space that you've created. Interlace your fingers behind your left thigh. And draw your left thigh in. Feel that stretch through your right hip. Bring the sole of your left foot back to the mat. Uncross your right ankle. Reach your left foot up toward the ceiling. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Again, you can stay like this on this side. Each side is going to feel a little bit different. Or you can thread your left hand through that space. Interlace your fingers behind your right thigh. Draw your right thigh in. Open up through your left hip. Bring the sole of your right foot back to the mat. Uncross your left ankle. You can walk your feet in a little bit closer to your back body here for bridge pose. If you have a block or a prop or a book or anything that you want to use for supported bridge, you can do that. Put the block or prop just underneath your sacrum. Or you can press down through the soles of your feet here. Lift your hips up toward the ceiling. Arms can stay alongside of you. Forearms and hands press into the mat. Or you can walk your shoulders underneath you. Interlace your fingers. And feel the strength, the lift come from your lower body, from your legs, from your glutes. Slowly lower your hips back down to the mat. Let your legs go long. Bring your shoulders up from underneath you. Little mini Shavasana here. Make your way over onto your front body. Come onto your belly. For some spine strengthening postures. We'll start with baby cobra here. So press down through the tops of your feet here. So if you were wearing sneakers, it'd be where the shoelaces are. Press that part of your foot down onto the mat. You might feel your kneecaps lift up. Hands are just underneath your shoulders. Start to peel your chest up off the mat. Hands can rest lightly on the mat or they can lift alongside your upper body. Gaze is still down. Come back down to the mat. Rest one ear, look to one side. Let your arms go long beside you. Bring your gaze back to center. Second spine strengthener. You can do baby cobra, what we just did. You can repeat that one again. Or you can do full locust. So for full locust, arms can fly alongside of you, or you can interlace your fingers above you. Gaze will still be down here. And on this one, lift your chest, lift your legs, lift your arms up off the mat. Full locust. Feel the muscles here in your back body. Lift your legs, lift your chest. Bring everything back down to the mat. Rest the opposite ear. Look to the other side. Let your shoulders sink down into the mat. Bring your gaze back to center. Final spine strengthening posture here. You can do baby cobra, that first one, full locust, that second one, or you can move to floor bow. Baby cobra, full locust, you know where you're going. For floor bow, bend your knees, reach back for both feet with both hands, and grab the outsides of your feet here or your ankles. Take an inhale, lift your chest, lift your gaze up. Exhale, kick back into both hands here with both feet. Feel your chest open up. Keep that strong kick back. Find your breath here. Last few moments in bow. Release back down to the mat. Bring your hands just underneath your shoulders. Press yourself up and back into a child's pose. Knees can be together, mat width apart. Bring your forehead to the mat, to the backs of your hands, or a block or a prop. Take a few more breaths here in child's pose. And we'll prepare for some flows. And I've discovered that it's quite difficult to flow and talk at the same time. So I will talk through 2 flows and then we'll all do some together. So the first flow we're going to do is a modified version, which you can always stick with. Throughout all the flows, you can always do modified. You always have that option of the 2. We're going to link up our breath with movement here. So each movement, each posture in our flow is going to have a breath that kind of matches along with it. So from your child's pose, rise up to a tabletop. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips up. Downward facing dog. If you need some movement here through your legs, you can pedal your feet out. First flow is going to be modified. So on your inhale, come forward into a high plank. Exhale, lower your knees, lower your chest, everything comes to the mat. Inhale that baby cobra, peel your chest up off the mat. Exhale back through a tabletop, downward facing dog. So that's the modified version of the flow. You can stick with that one, or you can come forward on your inhale, high plank, lower halfway down, chaturanga. Inhale, lift your chest, lift your thighs, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. So you have those two options, either modified or that full chaturanga. Let's do 3 more flows all together, and then we'll meet back into a child's pose. Come back into a child's pose. After you're finished your flows, let your forehead rest. Press down through your hands. Rise up. Walk your knees forward to the top of your mat. Knees are mat width apart, toes touch behind you. Sit back onto your heels. You can take some water here if you like. Or move right into sleeping hero. Just bring your hands around your hips just behind you. Lift your hips up. Tuck your pelvis under. And then settle your hips back down in that little bowl that you've created with your feet. And if you already feel a stretch here in the tops of your thighs, you can stay on your hands, or you can come down to your elbows, or all the way back onto your shoulders. And you can stop wherever you feel that stretch in the tops of your thighs. If you're all the way back on your shoulders, reach for your ankles or your shins. Come back up to your elbows and then to your hands. Come all the way back up. Bring your knees a little closer together. Sit back on your heels. Close your eyes and take a few breaths here. Bring your hands to the mat in front of you and step your way back into a downward dog. Reach your right foot up toward the ceiling. Bring your right knee in towards your right wrist. Let your shin land on the mat. Left leg extends long behind you. You can stay lifted up here in pigeon. You can come down to your elbows or your forearms. Or come all the way down and rest your forehead on a block, on a book, a water bottle, the backs of your hands. And if you need some extra support underneath your right hip, if it's up off the mat, you can use a pillow or anything you can find. Bring your hands back to the mat. Tuck your left toes under and step back, downward facing dog. Pedal up to your right side. When you're ready, lift your left foot up toward the ceiling. Bring your left knee towards your left wrist. Let your shin land on the mat. Right leg extends behind you. Stay lifted or make your way into sleeping pigeon. Feel the stretch here through your left hip. Let your shoulders soften here. Soften the muscles through your face, through your jaw. Bring your hands to the mat. Tuck your right toes under. Step yourself back. Last downward dog here this morning. Bring your knees to the mat. Sit back on your heels or sit over onto one side. Have some water. Make your way down to lie on your back. A few more postures here before a final Shavasana. On your back, on your mat here, bring the soles of your feet to the mat. Bring your arms out to a T. Lift your hips up, just shift them over to the left. Let your knees fall to the right. Your knees can be stacked over one another, or you can cross your left leg over your right. Your gaze can come to the left, if that feels okay for your neck. Bring your knees back to center, your gaze back to center, your hips back to center. Lift your hips up, shift them to the right. Let your knees fall to the left, either stacked or crossed. On this side, your gaze can come to the right. Bring your knees back to center, gaze back to center, hips back to center. Bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees fall out wide. Your arms can rest alongside of you. Come to your belly. You can stay right here in this position in a reclined cobblers, or you can extend your legs out long and come into a final Shavasana. That's any position that you're comfortable in, either on your back, on your side, on your belly, maybe a seated meditation. Any posture here that you would like to end your practice in, that you can let everything sink down, let everything go. And close your eyes here. Stay in the Shavasana, this resting position, for as long as you need this morning. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Thank you all so much. Namaste.
Namaste.